All right, so we've read issue 2, moving on to issue 3 of Savage Dragon. And I've got to say, this is probably my favorite issue I've read so far on this reread. Um, Pretty great cover there. And mostly because this issue, we've had the first issue, which is kind of like a hopping on point. We had the mini series, which was its own thing. And issue 2 was like the crossover with the Turtles. But this book feels the most like the Savage Dragon series. Like it's finally got its bearings and it's introducing, it's having callbacks to previous, events. It's moving everything along at a nice pace. And, yeah, I really enjoyed this one. This is for some reason, like a really memorable issue to me. I guess I like this one a lot when I originally read it. But so we open up here with Peter Clapton, who is the alter ego of the hero Star. And in the last issue, let's see if I can find it. Yeah, he got his hair burnt off. He got his hair burnt off in this issue. So he's he's like a rock singer basically. So he's a real popular dude, and he's got to explain why he just lost all his hair. But before he can, he hears about an attack, a breakout at the penitentiary, and so he flees to go there, where he's going to join Dart in trying to recapture all these prisoners, squash this outbreak or this breakout, whatever the hell you call it. So Dart was introduced last issue, and she's obviously got her hands full. And this is it's a real brutal sort of book. Like she gets her ass kicked, and this guy calls her a stupid bimbo, Mako. That's Mako's the character's name, but it's pretty hard, man. This is a previous character from the miniseries, a villain who apparently, I forget this guy's name, but he shoots him. It's payback for ratting on the big man, is what he says. So Star joins up, and it's not going good. She takes some bullets. Star's getting his ass kicked. That's a great shot of this zombie dude getting his head blown off there. And then Mighty Man shows up, who is assumed to be dead, but apparently not. And so, anyway, Dragon is back from his trip in New York. He meets Dart, and they have a little back and forth. He's kind of ribbing her about seeing Mighty Man, asking if it's like Elvis, what else is happening on here? Man, I love this page of Frank's face, especially the dread, the fin coming out from over him. It's just really well done. And so he's on the phone with Overlord, and they're talking about how he's got a baby due in March. This is a cool thing about, like, I just read the most recent issue of Savage Dragon, and, this baby that's coming up in this book is a character in the main series, so time in Savage Dragon moves at real time, essentially. Like every month is a month in Savage Dragon's life, basically. And so he tries to keep up. He's struggled here and there with, Erik Larsen has struggled with trying to keep that sort of continuity, but it's working, I think. So like I said, this character born in this issue was 1993. I think the character's probably in his 30s, so that, would make sense. So he's interrupted by the Freak, and the Freak takes out some cops. And man, this panel, the cops just light him up. That's just brutal. And before he dies, he says that he'll be back. Basically, this spirit can become like a host. It just needs a host to inhabit. And so it'll be on the lookout for a new one. And they'll be back, obviously. Now we're back at this house. Every issue we've had a look at this house in Illinois where there's dead bodies, and finally the cops are here, and now they've discovered something in the basement. Looks like a horror movie. So now this is Fanatics. I think this is the first one that's gone 2 pages. So he basically says, hey, the character creation contest is over. No, don't send any more of your characters in for to fight Savage Dragon. He's finished that. And what else? He says to look out for the Freak Force miniseries, which will be out soon. And what else? I don't think there was too much more in here. Oh, except this dude who just has this letter. No plot, no point, no problem. Is how you described Dragon Megaton one-shot. It seems to me this describes the whole series. And he just shits on Erik Larsen and his writing and his art. And he finishes up with, I'm assuming you... Thanks for listening, assuming you haven't thrown this in the garbage by now. And if you ever get around to printing some letters that aren't hyping you up 100%, I'd love to see your response. What a prick. Travis McKinnon, I'm calling you out in Ontario, Canada. Anyway, Larsen addresses his concerns. And it says, I'll print negative letters. I don't give a shit. So, fun stuff. Anyway, there's also a backup feature in here with Mighty Man. So Mighty Man is hanging out with this woman, and they're talking about his powers, and she's like, I bet you could, do a lot of things, kind of referencing maybe wanting to hook up with this Mighty Man. And gives her literally the cold shoulder, like, oh, get away from me. No thanks. Now we know why, but it does come off a little weird here. So... Let's see, a Vanguard ad, images of Shadow. It's kind of a weird, they almost look like the same image. Different dudes. That Super Patriot series is badass, as is the images of Shadowhawk. What else? Yeah, you can just kind of get a taste of what else is around at the time. Wildcats 5 is coming out. Trencher Zero, I don't think that actually exists. Stormwatch 5. And so next week, we'll start with issue 4.